1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Alright. Wayne's Pet Youngin. This was requested recently, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good one to teach. Not a lot of parts, very simple song, but it's also pretty, not complicated, but tricky, because the intricacies of how it's played are both simple but kind of complex, especially, I think Diener's changed how he plays this one. We'll start off with that beginning. By the way, that beginning where they do that crazy count in is, as far as I'm aware, is only on the album, on God Wing Satan. It's not on any of the live stuff. They just do it straight in, just 1, 2, 3, 4. They just do a regular count in, right? Probably Claude doing that. But when they do this live, it's a little bit different. But I'm going to be showing you what's on the record and also kind of what he's doing. All right, so standard tuning, to say the least. So basically, we're going to be pedaling this power chord, 7th and 9th fret on the A and D respectively, with the open E. Mostly downstrokes, although when he does it live, he does a lot more alternate strokes. Right, so you're going to want to kind of pedal the E in between that. And then he does this. Right, so that's just... And you could also throw in the 9th of the G on that E. Right, so... And then... Alright, so... And then it's the exact same chord, just one string lower than B. And then 2 open E's real quick. That's just those 3. So... Alright. And that's basically the verse. And then the chorus is just another riff. Now, when he plays the verse live now, he does it a lot more like this. He... instead of just doing a straight power chord, although Dean likes to play his power chords like this, but instead of just doing that, he likes to throw in a lot more, like kind of hammering on that, on the 7th of the D and G, right? So, but he's doing that, just hammering it on, just with his thumb, with his pinky probably. But the riff and the last part of the verse is the same. So whichever you prefer. I like to sort of change it up, sort of honor both of them. That's what I kind of tried to do with the intro. Then we have the chorus riff, which is just... Now this is one where it's... the way he plays is a little weird. The way I would typically play it, and it's a lot easier to do it, but I don't think it's how he's doing it, is I would, do this kind of thing where you bar the 7th of the top 3 strings, but you have that on there, on the D, for the E, so, right, so, and then you just add that note with your ring finger, right, and then just do that again, one whole step lower, and then it's just an open E, and then some scratches, which go along with the drums, right? So that's how I would usually play that, right? And you could go either downstrokes or both with this one. I like to just do downstrokes. I like to change it up sometimes like that. But that's not how he plays it, especially live. I know for a fact he just switches power chords like this. And it's just the 2 notes for this part. Right, so just... That's how he likes to do it. And it sounds more like the recording but you know, it's a little tricky to play. You know, just especially depending on the speed that they're going at. You know, it sounds a little bit clumsier and messier, and maybe even a little more stilted, but you know, it fits. It fits because that's basically what it is. And then that's what the riff is. But there's one time on the album, and you saw me do in the beginning, where he goes something like that on the last time he does the first chorus. He basically does that. That might just be a mistake, and it's like there's a bunch of scratches, and the tone of the guitar is very like fuzzy and like just sort of messy. So but he's definitely starting off with like a B, and it's like he could just be sliding down like that, but I think he's doing, because he's doing like he's basically just doing like, if you're just to play the parts that he does this, so like dun dun, instead of going dun dun dun, he just goes dun dun. So it's basically, that's what he's doing. And then the second time he lets that E ring out, and then before the solo starts, we get into this, which is the harmonic on the 7th of the G. And you can, or you know, whammy bar, either which you want to do. And then we get into the solo, which is just going to start up here. So this is a classic kind of rock Zeppelin bend, right? Whole step on these two, and then open E. You can also just go on the 12th of the E, but I'm pretty sure it's that note that he's doing, which is the same when you play it open E. So that's all right. Does that a few times, and then you do unison bend. Right? He actually picks it 2 times, but he bends it up 3 times. Like that. And then we're going to do this. Alright, so 12, 14, 15 on the G. Then 12 to 15 to 12 on the B. And then we're just going to go 14 to 12 on the G. And then a tiny little bend there. Right? Right? And then 12 to 14. 14 to 12 to 14 on the D. And then a little bend there. Bring it up just a little bit. Quarter step or even a half step. And then it sounds like when you left it, when you're bending from there, he kind of leaves it there when he plays it again. So, right? So don't go, just leave it in the same place you were bending it before. So like, right? And then he does this. Right? So 10 to 12 on the A, then 13, 14, then 12 on the D, then 13 on the A to 12 on the A, and then he does this little thing, half step bend on the 9 of the A, and then he does it again, right, just like that, and then he does 12 on the E, and then you slide down there, and then he does, so that's hammering on 10 to 12 on the E, then 10 on the A, then E, 12, and then open A, and then he slides back down, right? So, and then he scratches it. And then he does the riff. And then he does the riff again. And then he does this kind of thing. So he's just kind of, from what I can tell, he's hammering on this. The 0 to 2 on the A and D. You could also be playing the open E underneath it. But I think it'll just sound better if you just do those 2 open strings. And then open D and G, and then he does the riff again. And then he lets that open E ring. And then he go back into it. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. Just one more verse and, you know. Actually, that last part, he does this little thing. It's very subtle on the recording. I hear it. One of the guitars is playing the riff, and that's where the song ends. But on the other guitar, it sounds like he's kind of doing. At some point, he hits this chord, and then he very quickly hits this G note. Could also be like somewhere else. Could even be like up there or something on the. What is that? 17th of the D, and slide down real quick. It's just a little oddity that's on the recording. I just figured I'd point that out. But that's pretty much the song. And then all those crazy laughs at the end. All right, yeah, I mean, you can play that riff however you want. If you just want to keep it, you know, straight and punk, just then go ahead. If you want to do what Diener does and make it a little bit more rocking and like, you know, a little bit more of a groove, like he does, you know, do a lot more alternate picking. Do that, and if you want to switch the chords like he does, just like that, you know, it makes you feel a little bit more energetic while you're playing it. So if you feel comfortable, I'd recommend trying to do it that way. But if you want to make it a little bit more simpler, then go ahead. Anyway, that's the song. Thanks for the suggestion. Keep them coming. Have a nice day.